welcome back to 2DG. We got another beer review.
We do.
Yeah, what do we have this time?
This is part of the Big Beer series by Smutty Nose. This is their Rocky Road. It's a stout brewed with cocoa nibs and marshmallow cream and aged on oak chips.
Yeah, it really sounds fantastic.
Yeah. One of the reasons that I picked this beer up, other than it had kind of crazy marshmallow cream ingredients, is because I wanted to see how a stout would be with kind of like that kind of thing. Because the Three Floyds beer that we have, the Dark Lord with vanilla beans, on the bottle it said something with marshmallow because the font was ridiculously hard to try to read.
Yeah.
So I wanted to say, oh, what does a stout with marshmallow taste like? So I tried to get a comparison because I'm not going to open that beer for a long time. So that's one of the reasons that I picked this one up. I'm excited to try, like he said. I've never had a beer with any sort of marshmallow anything. So.
And I'm not a big fan of marshmallow flavor, and I'm not a big fan of Rocky Road ice cream. However, this beer just sounds great. I think it'll be a great... I can already sense what I want. So I hope it delivers.
Could be dangerous. Let's get it open. Make mine a smutty. Says it on the cap. This will only be, I think, the second Smutty Nose that we've done on the channel, and it might only be my second Smutty Nose overall. I've never decided to pick it up. I can get it locally in Northeast Indiana. I just never have, I guess.
I think it's one of the few New Hampshire beers we can get locally.
Alright, so the appearance, it was pouring out a little bit lighter than I had hoped, but it is black as hell. Yeah. Nothing, even along the sides you get a little bit maybe, but anyway, the head did not stick around. I poured them both essentially down the middle. Let me see what the ABV is on this.
I say the residual bubbles I have left are pretty large bubbles.
Yeah. ABV is 7.3. Little lower than maybe I expected, but let's get a nose.
Definitely. Not getting a whole lot. At first I thought I was getting some chocolate, but...
it is disappointing. I'm getting a lot of the roasted malts. I am getting a pronounced baker's chocolate in there. Really past that though, maybe some earthy, a little bit of tobacco. Maybe a tiny bit of like an oak, but it's not...
Yeah, maybe that's what I'm picking up. There's something a little earthy that...
Yeah, it's got to be the oak.
It's different than what I... would have expected. But all in all, there's not a whole lot coming out of that.
Taste?
Definitely. There's almost a strong smoke there.
Yeah. Damn.
But I don't feel that I'm picking up any marshmallow. Maybe the slightest little bit.
I get like a tiny bit of like a silkiness, maybe.
Well, there's a little bit of a sweet thing that's got a higher lift. Like it just feels like a marshmallow flavor, but it's not real prominent at all.
Yeah, right at the front of the tongue, a little bit of bitterness. I'm gonna assume that's gonna come mostly from the cocoa nibs and the hops. Past that though, the roasted malt bitterness really just coats the entire tongue from front to back.
Would agree.
Like he said, there's that maybe weird sweetness that's in there that like it's like a spike. It's like spike and then it's done.
And it's a difference though. It's a different sweetness that I'm used to, so that's why I attribute it to the...
You get like a tiny bit of like maybe like a smoky oak type of thing, but it's just masked so much by the malt.
Yeah.
It one-dimensional. Damn. It's very one-dimensional, and I hate that. If you haven't watched, one of my big things is if you say it on the bottle or the can, I want to be able to pick it out easily.
I would agree. Yeah, I was almost envisioning the dessert.
Yeah, no.
You know, there's dessert wines, and the way this is described, I expected at least some of that flavor. I'm not saying I won't. There might be a little bit of the ice cream. You know, if you think of Rocky Road ice cream, where there's almost the lactic flavor. lactose flavor. But again, if there is, it's real subtle, and I think this probably is the marshmallow, but it's so subtle.
Yeah. Okay. So for style, this is just classified on Ray Beer as a regular stout. Style, they're giving it a 97. Overall, they're giving it a 96. Stout.
As a stout, I'm actually going to give it a 7.5. I find it's probably a pretty decent stout. It doesn't have the sweetness I think that it needs to carry it through.
You're going to give this a lower score than Rover Chop?
That was an oatmeal stout, though. Yeah, actually, I think the flavor of Rover was a little more complex than this. This one just doesn't deliver in the nose, and it doesn't seem to deliver in the taste. Like I said, this would benefit from some sweetness from that marshmallow. You know, some sweetness related to the whole idea of Rocky Road ice cream. That would just elevate it so much. But it's just not delivering for me. And not,
8. I've had stouts that are way better with way less.
Yeah.
You don't really get too much out of there. The easiest part to pick out is the oak. You do get most of the cocoa nibs, and it's weird that they say that it's not weird that they use it in the boil, but most people that use cocoa nibs age it with cocoa nibs. And I don't get a lot from that. I get a little bit in the aroma. I don't get really much in the taste.
Maybe the bitterness.
Yeah, again, I'm attributing the bitterness to that. I'm getting none of the marshmallow. Like you said, maybe that weird vanilla-y sweetness that lasted for half a second. Yeah. But like you said, I went into this expecting it to be a thick, rich, decadent kind of dessert beer that you finish off your night with, and it's not that.
And I so wish it was.
Yeah. Do I think this is a good beer? Yeah, it's a good beer, but it's not. It's just it didn't live up to my expectations. Maybe that's my fault.
You didn't write the label.
Yeah, that's true. Overall,
I'm going to stick with 7.5. I do enjoy the flavor. I don't want just because I rated it a little lower. I do enjoy what's there. I just wish there was more to it. If this is available, if it's available on draft, I'm gonna, like I said, 7.5.
I'm gonna pass over it.
It depends on what else is there. If I'm looking for a stout, though, this isn't the one I'm gonna choose. If I have other options, if that's all that's there, sure, it'll work. It's not a terrible thing at all. I like I said, enjoy the flavors that are there. Just wish there were a lot more. So 7.5.
Yeah, agreed. 7.5. I'll definitely walk by this beer the next time. In buying it in this format that we did, generally beers that come off in the bigger bottles like this, you expect more from. You really do, unless it's like a big, like 32 or 40 ounce of Budweiser, then you're like, it sucks either way. Yeah, just based on everything that was on the bottle, the label, and all that, I'm severely disappointed. It doesn't really offer too much anyway for me. It's, like I said, very one-dimensional. Maybe a little bit of play here or there. But yeah, one-dimensional beer. It's not bad, but it's not great. It's run-of-the-mill.
Yeah, and I think the concept is brilliant. I think it's a really good concept because I think it does sound good. If you had one of those Dark Lord-esque beers that were just full of sweetness and stuff, and then you could cut it with a little bit of a marshmallow flavor, it would be a beautiful beer. I mean, I'd be so stoked. So there's room, maybe we'll make one that lives up to what we think it should be.
We will make one.
All in all, we did do a few New Hampshire beers already, and we did do a Smutty Nose before, and I think the last one we did was a better beer overall. But wow,
maybe we give a better score.
But this isn't a terrible beer.
No, not at all.
If you have, give it a try. Let us know what you think. Maybe we're just a little critical of it, but I think it should have delivered more on the ingredient list in flavor.
Or at all. So go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. 2DG. We appreciate the followers that we already have. You guys are real loyal. Still have yet to really have a decent conversation. We would like to do that. I know we say that every time, but we haven't yet. But anyway, 2DG.
Hey, see you later.